Hey y'all, I know I'm looking crazy, but it's no wigs, no none of that. In real life, this is what I look like, and I don't care. You feel me? Like I don't care. This is what I do when I'm by myself. I relax. I usually cut my hair off all bald. It's literally growing back. I'm very proud of myself and my hair, but it's not about me, y'all. It's really not about me, and I don't know how to do this, but I got to. I do not like to tell my business, but I'm going to show pictures on top of my pictures because the pictures is just proof. But I just got to tell the world how good God has been to me, okay? How good he been to my family. How he is not just like a game. Like how people make it seem like, okay, you going to court, so let me go pray. You going through a hard time, let me go. No, like Jesus is real life real. Like he a person and he has feelings just like you and I do. He's real. And it's not a game. And it's like it's so cool to be liked for the wrong reasons. And it's just so cool to do the wrong things and be praised. But it's like we scared to say as a people the good things because it don't really hold no weight. But I don't care. Unpopular opinion, I'm just keeping it so real. God is real. Jesus is real. He's not fake. He loves. And when he loves hard. And he loves very good. And it is not about the way that he takes care of me. It is the way that the inside out clean that he has done to my heart that I have to share with the world. Like I'm the type of person that I felt like I needed like security, like family, friends, a man, you know what I'm saying, to keep me sane and to keep me in the flow with everybody else. But first of all, I was just homeless in 2020. Okay? God told me I was homeless back in like, what was that, 2013? And I was going through abuse really bad. And I'm just jumping around. But I'm just trying to give a quick testimony. And in the midst of that, it was like I was so naive to the fact that God was literally stripping me from everything and everybody because he was trying to get my attention. Because he was calling me back home. I finally went into the shelter with my kids after enduring so much abuse. I mean, I was jumping on and off the road from Atlanta to Michigan. I was staying with family and friends, being mistreated. My kids out here in the streets. I had another son that, my oldest is 18 now. At the time, he was like 9, 10 years old. And I was not with my son, and that was very hard for me. And it was just like so much turmoil. And God finally got me to myself in that shelter. And when he did, I just fasted and prayed. And I spent so much time with him. He just started pouring into me just so much love that I started loving on myself in a whole different way. I finally got to my home. Like I was the opposition, the family members, and it was just crazy. I ended up going home. I got a new puppy. Okay, let's see. I just found him outside my house. Lay down. Lay down. He ain't been feeling well. I just found him. And I love him already. But anyways, I got home from that shelter into the new house. And when I got there to the new house, that's when Jesus gave me safe housing. And that is, like, I was always asking, what's my purpose, God? What do you want me to do? What am I called to do? And I had endured homelessness, and I had endured abuse, and I had endured separation from my children, with my oldest son, due to abuse. I had, no resources. I had family not understanding. So that's kind of where my business came in at, because it was like firsthand. So it was my anointing. I didn't know it. I didn't understand that everything that I was going through. I'm trying to get good angles, because baby, but I told God I was going to do this regardless of what I look like and what's going on. I have to say it. So that's how I got safe housing. And the first client that I had, I can't disclose, but the first client that I had, I helped them. And once I did that, I just took off from there. Everybody and their mama I can get my hands on, I've been helping. I don't charge none of that, because that's not what you do. So, Cape Town, South Africa. You know, my services didn't reach Cape Town, South Africa. My services also is international. They're not just for Michigan. I really don't like to talk and tell all of that, because people, it's just God, because I never want to seem as if I was gloating. But God had put so much on me so fast in that little bit of time. And I didn't think I know too much. I knew too much because I was brand new to everything. But the reality of it is that I experienced so much that I was well versed in knowledge in what I was speaking on. So it was like, okay, God, when I started getting at round tables with less than a year of me starting the business, and people, trying to hit me with, okay, for me to be your fiduciary before you get your exemption status, I'm gonna charge you $50,000. Like, it was like so much that I just started recognizing, like, okay, God, this is something good. Okay. So, like I said, we're gonna fast forward all the way to 2020. So 2015 is when I started sitting down with the Holy Spirit, reading my Bible, and actually learning how to put it together. What type of programs, running into the right people, fasting, praying, just spending time with God until we actually built the business. So now by 2016, 2017, I'm actually advertising the business. Okay. Actually, 2017 and 2016, I'm advertising and actually pulling in clients from the business to the business. Okay, so now 2018, 2019, I put up a post where I was working with another individual, and we were combining our services. And in the midst of doing that, the post went viral. And that's where more than just one area, a platform of people were able to see me. Like, now I'm getting calls from DHS, CPS, just everywhere. Okay, everywhere. The God, like He promised, it was moving. But then 2020 comes and He says, and I ain't gonna lie, I was acting a fool. I was acting a fool. And God wasn't pleased. And He started stripping me. He like, okay, give me this, give me that. Stop talking to these people. Stop talking to that people. This not what I called you to. You doing it wrong. So now I got to sit you down, because you got to come back into my presence so I can get you ready again. Okay. So I was so unhappy with the way my life was, and the people that I had let in and who I had around, because nobody, it literally, I was on a boat where people were literally sticking holes into my boat, literally trying to sink me. But it wasn't working, because when you know Jesus, there is no way that anybody can do anything to you and it harm you. It's literally no weapon formed against you can prosper. Literally. And every tongue that rises against you, you have that power and authority to condemn it, which meaning when they out here saying you can't do something, you can speak against that and say, well, it's not going to happen. And that's what I do. And that's what I did. And it didn't happen. So, but God did. He took everything from me. And I had to let it go, because I didn't do what I was supposed to do with it. And once I let it go and gave it to God, the next thing that came was tests and trials. So, like I said, I became homeless again. And when I became homeless, I had to leave my kids, my 3 youngest kids, with their dad. And that was the worst thing I could have ever done. Okay. And on top of that, my oldest, which was 16 at the time, he went and stayed with a relative. I mean, I just want all my kids with me, period. I don't like my kids being away from me. I didn't like my oldest being away from me when I first started enduring the abuse and stuff like that. And let me get it out here. Let me tell you, if you endure the abuse, whether it be mental, verbally, sexually, physically, financially, economically, however you endured it, it was not your fault. You're not weak. You're not a victim. You know what I mean? Don't let all of those things that the world, those stereotypes and the way that people try to display it and downplay you, is just the way to cut into you. Don't play them games. You are who you are. You went through what you went through because that was your path that you had to take. But I bet you learned something. And if you didn't, I bet you will. Me not being with my kids and them, I literally had to leave them. I don't have no team. Like, people would try to out here. That's why you don't see, like, on my page, I'm not interactive. I don't do none of this. And this is not to belittle nobody. I really don't roll with nobody. I trust and I only mess with God, and I'm trying not to be talking so much. But y'all don't never hear me talking. Y'all don't never see me in rare form, like, because I do not do this. But I have to let it be known because y'all need to know Jesus is real. I don't have on no filter. I do not have on no wig. I'm not out here with lashes. I'm not out here trying to prove nothing to nobody. Like I said, I'm going to throw my pictures up because I don't have nothing to prove to nobody. Can't nobody give me nothing to gain anything. Can't nobody take nothing from me. Everything I get, everything I have, and everything I'm going to continue to keep getting is from the Lord. Like, it is inevitable. You can't stop it. Nobody can. But I have to tell my truth. I just got to. I was homeless, okay? After God has, I mastered homelessness, okay? And when I say master, I'm not saying it like, oh, I'm praising I was homeless. I'm saying I mastered it because I've been there, done that. It's over with now. But, okay, listen to me. God took everything from me. And in the midst of him doing that, I became homeless again. But God had to show me something. Because like I said, I just in 2020 had absolutely everything that I have been praying for 2015. That God had promised me, okay? So I'm finally walking in these things. I got 2 cars, 4-bedroom home, my pit bull, backyard big as all outdoors. You know what I'm saying? I could come and go as I please. I could spend it and take in as I like. I really wasn't wanting for anything, nothing, but for somebody to leave me alone. But that's why I said I was acting a fool. You know what I mean? Like, I was doing I was heavy smoking, heavily drinking. I ain't really no big, it's fornicating, it's having sex outside of marriage. I did have a son with my kid's father. But, you know what I mean? And that was because I'm not finna get all into that. But at the same time, like, I'm not big on that. So you ain't finna hear it's not finna be no million people out here screaming on none of that me. Like, I'm not big in all of that. But at the same time, you know what I mean? It was what it was. I was literally just like, I was doing too much. And God was like, he had to humble me because I was going down a path that was not going to lead me in the right direction. So I had to lose everything. So I had to go through a walk of shame. I had to go through people talking about, how are you housing other women, but you don't got no house for your kids? How are you helping people pay lights, gas, heat, and water, but you know, how do you move from one house and not know to go to the next? Like, let me tell you, I had it in my mind, like, okay, God, I'm going to leave this house because I done brought all these people over here that ain't had no business coming, which wasn't even a lot of people. When I say all these people, I'm talking about family and close intermediate friends. Like, they weren't even supposed to be there because once you know who is for you, that is for you. If they not for you, do not have these people around you. But okay, I was still doing me and doing whatever I wanted to. God had to get me in check. So now I got these people who was all around me up in my house. So I'm just like, oh yeah, it's them. The guy like, oh, okay, you still blaming people. Okay. So you homeless. You out on the streets. So now I'm about to put you up in the house with these people. Like, I only stayed with a few people. And the few people that I stayed with, it was hell. Living hell. I didn't live together. It was 3 people. It was 4. Okay. And I went and stayed in extended stay. And I not only stayed in extended stay, I was at the Rare Roof. I went to the Travel Lodge. Like, I'm staying in rooms with my kids. I was so depressed. Like, I could not understand what God was doing to me. I could not understand. And it's just like, okay, but I'm rolling with it. I'm still putting new businesses together. That's where I came up with creative images. On top of the fact of me coming up with creative images as I'm going through these processes, I'm putting programs together like, nah, because I'm looking and recognizing how many people actually are going through these type of situations. See, I didn't have not a clue. I just knew I wasn't finna be sleeping on nobody's floor. I wasn't finna have my kids separated from me in nobody else's house, and I was not finna have people up in my business because that's how I am. I'm a strategist. I know I'm gonna figure this out, and it's gonna be with the help of God. So it's like this can't be the way. I'm 15 minutes in. I'm already doing too much. So long story short, from 2020 to December 2020 to April of 2022, I was staying in a room with my kids. Nobody knowing, you know, a few people did. And then, like I said, I moved out. Like my last year, 2022, is when, no, it's not 2022, it was 2021. I'm sorry. 2021, but it's 2022 was when April of 2022 is when I finally moved back into my a home. But God had told me when I left in October of 2020 what type of home I was getting, where I was going to, how I was finna be living. And I just stuck to that and I didn't move. Everything I lost, I got back. And I didn't lose any. Everything I gave up, I got back. Everything I gave up, I got back. I had 2 vehicles. I had a foreign, and I just had my shooter, a Buick. I bought it from my brother, and still didn't even finish off paying him. I love my brother. But I was just saying, okay, 4-bedroom house, my dog, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't wanting for nothing. Even from my cell phone. I had an iPhone. I had to leave, put that down and go pick up an Android. Like, God stripped me from everything he had to see. I had to literally put my business down a little bit. I was just like, y'all, when I say God is so faithful, Jesus is so faithful. In April of 2022, this year, God put me in a 5-bedroom home. Okay? I had a minivan, and I just switched over into my Volkswagen. And I'm still going to have 2 vehicles parked in my driveway because I got to. You see my dog laying here on the floor. I gave up 1 cell phone to get 6 of them. Okay? I went from 1,000 square feet to 2,600 square feet. Okay? That's material. That's just material. In the inside, my faith then expanded to a whole different level. It is nothing. It is nothing too hard for God. It is absolutely nothing too hard for God. People will play with you and play on you because you're allowing them to. You give them the authority and the power to have rule and reign over your life because you don't give it to God. Like, I'm going to put my pictures up. Like, I stood on what God said to me. He gave those desires that you have in your heart to want to do better, to live better, to want more, to go out here and apply yourself for something that you know is just astronomically, the numbers is just crazy. Like, how can I, God, but God, because he gave you that desire. You didn't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. You will know when it's self-will and when it's the will of God. This ain't even about me. It's not. That's why I'm willing to come like this. That's why I'm willing for 19, 20 minutes to scramble on my words. God is good. And he is willing to do this not just for me, because I was not faithful. Did you just hear me just not say I had to give up everything? But because my love for him is that deep, I believe. I believe. He blessed me with everything back. I got it all back. And those people who he separated me from, they don't have that access to me. Okay, he moved me across state lines. Okay. And I still can conduct my business. Like, he is going to make everything work for your good. It is somebody somewhere that needs to hear this. You do not need none of them people that you think you need. You do not. I promise you, they probably don't even care. They don't care about you. They don't love you. And they do not have your back. And I know it hurt because it's people that you think that you should be able to count on and rely. They do not care. And I don't care if you a man or a woman. It is time for people to stop putting your faith in people and put it in God. He will use people to be a blessing to you, and it will be those very same people that is putting their mouth on you wrong or mistreating you or doing whatever they feel and trying to make you come out. And we got to remember, too, it is not people that you are coming up against. These are spirits. This is a spiritual battle. This is real. Y'all out here wondering why all of this crazy madness stuff is going on, because we are in the spiritual world. This is real life. This is not for fake. And I don't care who think I'm crazy. None of that. Jesus is real. I don't care about, oh, the white man gave you this book back in it. No white man gave me no book. He didn't give me this. He didn't make me sit down, read this book, and get into a real deep relationship with this spirit. This is real. That's why when you hear about every other religion, you don't hear nobody going off, but you hear them going off on Christianity. You hear them going off on Jesus because he's real. He's not fake. He's real. He's real. How do I know? Because I know him. People, you talk to him and y'all laugh and you giggle about it now. People who play like that and play, it don't never be funny in the end. It's always those people that got to be hard-headed, and I pray for you. Stop playing with your life. Y'all out here gambling for the wrong things. At the end of the day, there is a God that sits high and look low. Like, anybody who know me, I came from nothing. I'm in a prestigious neighborhood. Listen to me. Homeless in the hotel room. So don't that mean no funding? Don't that mean that you lacking something? And if you stand in a room, baby, you're lacking funding. God took everything, okay? And then when he take everything, he take the people too. So no, I don't want you using their resources. You're going to rely on me. I don't want you calling these people into. You're going to rely on me. Let me finish. Leave the dog alone. Come back when I'm finished, okay? No. That is not. It is time for people to wake up. To wake up. Jesus is real. And if you want to have a real relationship with him, this is real, okay? This is real because I care. I care. Jesus is real. I promised him I would do this because it matters. Somebody out here needs to know. You need to know. You need to know he real. And that you don't got to have hope in those people no more because they don't got you. They can't. And even if they could, they can't get you and hold you down like they supposed to because it was never meant for them to do that. It is in Christ. It is in Jesus. And it's okay. It's okay. I'm just saying, like, people be like, bet on Jesus. Bet on him. And stand on it. Like, people be like, stand on it. I'm telling you to stand on it. I'm going to upload pictures. Because I stood on it. And everybody, and this is not to shame nobody, but it is to shame the devil. Because everything that he used those individuals to speak curses out to say that I couldn't have, I have. And some. My business is doing fine. Jesus takes care of me. It's not a game, y'all. It's not a lie. Stop. I want people to stop asking me how, how'd you get that car? How you get the business? How'd you and how'd you live in it? And God. And when I say it, I'm not being cliche. It's God. I'm God. Okay, so this is my house that I moved out. That is the dog. And that was the car. And this was my first, well, that wasn't my first bill, but that was one of them. That is my baby. These are all my babies together, majority of them. My new home. My new vehicle. This here is the neighborhood, guys. This is my neighborhood. God is good. It's time to try Jesus. If you have not tried him, I don't know what you're waiting on. Contact me if you want to find out how to do so.